Tales, first bit of pre-season, how difficult has it been the past month or so?
Yeah, it was a really difficult first week. Everything was still, obviously reviewed the grand final pretty hard, and it was pretty raw that first week, and almost a weird feeling. We had to talk about what happened, and it was really tough for some guys. Going through that and reliving it and seeing clips is not the nicest thing, but you've got to learn from it, and you've got to get better, and that's what we were trying to get out of it. So once we got through that first week, it started to pick up, and today was a really positive session, and everyone's now back up and about. Fun again, whereas the first week was a bit down, obviously.
I was going to say, I think there were reports out of Melbourne, I think on Sports Day, that some of the senior players wanted the younger players to lift their fitness levels after the first couple of weeks. Is that something that the senior players addressed with the younger players and coaches?
I think it was the whole group. We'd had 2 weeks less holidays, and we were probably a bit behind where we were the year before. So it wasn't just the young guys; it was the whole group. Probably we didn't really meet our times, and we've all gained that fitness now in the 3 weeks. But I think coming off a season where there's a lot of niggles and injuries, we had to address that really quick because we saw what happened to Sydney last year. Being 0-6, we don't want a repeat of that. So we were a bit behind where we needed to be, but I think we've caught that up now.
So what happened? Did you sit down and have meetings, or was there who initiated the chats?
Oh no, it's a whole group thing. It's pretty easy. You get a set time and whatever else, and you got your skin folds and all that. And we went through all those measures, the whole group. So it wasn't just the young, senior guys meeting about young guys. It was the whole kind of group. So every club would do that. We were a bit behind where we need to be, and we've trained really hard and caught that up the last 3 weeks. So it's been really positive. Today, as I said, today was a fun session, and I think we're back up and about and ready to go.
Mate, why were you behind with those measures?
Yeah, as I said, we got two less weeks holidays, and there was a lot of guys that had niggles and come off surgery, and all the rest that hadn't run, and some guys just don't really know how to train yet. When you first come into the system, you probably it takes a couple of years to learn how to really train hard and meet those targets. So that's just a education thing for some younger guys, and as I said, it was a whole different variety of reasons, but we're back up and about and ready to go.
So was it, rather than be concerning, it was just more of a message, was it?
No, I think it was just where the group was at. We sat down and obviously coming off a granny, some guys had injuries, as I said, niggles. Some younger guys probably had never done a pre-season program before. So we drive really high standards. We want to improve and get better on last year, and to do that, you've got to set yourself really high standards. So that's what we've done, and we're getting there.
Does that change things like during the Christmas break now, whereas previously you might have been able to sort of rest up for a week or two? Now do you have a bit more you have to do?
I don't think we've rested over Christmas for about 5 years now. That's the way the game's going. It's just it's getting to that point where you only get 3 weeks in before Chrissy. You're pretty much still going up over these next 2 weeks. So we've got a solid 2 week block that we'll have to do with others on our break, and that'll set us up, and we'll get ready to go. Yeah.
How about going over that grand final? How tough was that? Tough to look back at it and sort of pull through it a bit.
Yeah, it was. It was it was really tough, especially as a senior player. Probably didn't play. All of us didn't play the way we wanted to, and that flowed on through the group. So looking at that and learning from it was really tough. You never want to see yourself get beat, and we'd been good all year, and we just didn't play well on the day. So that's up to us. We've got to get back there and have another crack at it. So. It took a bit of time. It was really raw, and some guys were over it, and some guys weren't. So, and we were all at different levels. But I think that chat, we had a couple of chats the first week. Getting that over and done with was really good for the group, and I think everyone was on the same page from there.
What positives came out of it, Tales?
I think just learning where guys were at, and hearing that guys were experiencing, a lot of guys, weren't sleeping, just little things like that you probably go through as an individual, but you don't really talk to. So yeah, having a group and just being around your mates again, being able to support you is the positive thing to come out of it. So it was really good, and we'll get back, and we want another shot at it, and it's a great experience even though we lost. So we want to get back there and have another crack.
How much did the leaders own that review and own their performance in that one?
Yeah, definitely. I think you look at the 5 leaders. None of us played good games. Sloaney tried all day, but the rest of the group was really down, and I think that flowed on to the rest of the group. So we own that. The whole playing group owned it. We've got to have, when we win, we have 16, 17 guys playing well out of 22, and on that day there might have been 1 or 2. So we were beaten all over the field, and we just have to own that as a team and get better.
Taylor Bryce gives obviously a big addition on field, also a good leader. Would he be someone that you consider bringing the leadership group straight up, and how will that unfold?
Yeah, he's been really impressive the first 3 weeks coming in. You know, just the way he reads the game and he communicates really well. And he's been in the system now for 12, 13 years and has been a great player for a long time. So we've loved having him out on the track. His skills are phenomenal, and I'd love to have him off a half back, helping us out through there. But yeah, we'll consider it. You know, he's a really important member of the group already in the first 3 weeks, and that's a credit to him. So. Yeah, we'll see how it goes, and we'll have that vote later on in the new year, I suppose.
Jake Lee obviously gone. Who takes his spot in the back line?
Yeah, there's going to be a number of guys that are pushing for that spot, and that'll be up to the coaches. But you know, we've got guys like Alex Keith, Tom Duday, who's been really impressive in the SANFL for a number of years. Andy Otten can roll back through there. It's a pretty important role, that intercepting role. So I think everyone back there is going to have to pick up the slack, because you know how good Jake is as a young guy. He got to that really elite level quickly, so we're going to have to replace him, and that's a challenge for us back there.
We've heard a lot about Tom over the last sort of 12 months. How impressive he looks on the track. We haven't really seen much of him.
Sorry, who was that?
Tom Duday.
Oh, Tom Duday. Yeah, it's his first real pre-season of getting out there and training continuously. And if you watched a bit of the SANFL last year, he's a guy who really almost plays like Jake Levy, intercepts the ball really well, really hard at it in the air, and can do some really special things, and it's quite powerful. So he's one of those guys that can play that third tall role, and he's been out there, and it's been a credit to him. You know, he's come in and trained the first 3 weeks and really impressed. So yeah, he's a guy that's putting his name up for that spot, but there's a number of them.
Do you feel like you can contend again next year? You're right around the mark and can get back there again?
Absolutely, yeah. We feel like we can contend, but every year's a new year, and that's why we know now we've got to set ourselves high standards again, like I was saying before, and train hard and work hard. You know, you don't luck your way to a grand final, you've got to earn it, and there's 18 clubs sitting here right now thinking that they'll be there. So, you know, we've just got to keep building our habits and, you know, being elite in everything we do, and just keep getting better on the track, and that flows on the game. So that's what we're trying to do.
So you touched on your standards and all that. Just with the tone of those meetings, what was it like? I mean, was it aggressive? Were the coaches annoyed, or was it just a matter of, okay, let's just have a look?
No, it had nothing to do with the coaches. You know, play a run. You know, coaches. It's about what we drive as players, as you know, coaches out there on the field. So we're an honest group. We know, you know, when we run certain times and we do a certain number of pre-season, it sets us up for the year. So there's a formula behind that, and we've got to keep hitting those marks. So yeah, play a run, not aggressive at all. We just been honest with each other and letting each other know we've got to improve. So yeah, that's certainly happened in the last 3 weeks, and we're in a really good spot now.
So coaches weren't involved at all?
Nah, play a run, mate.
Yeah, okay.
Christmas wish, Charles?
Christmas wish, probably to see Pikey smile a bit more. He's a pretty intense guy, but you know, he's been up and about the last couple of days, and if he can keep smiling over Chrissy, the players would love that.
How do you put a smile on his face?
Keep training well. He was pretty pumped today. We had a cracking session, and you know, pumped out about 15 Ks, and skills were amazing. So as I said, a really positive session. We're in a really good spot, and yeah, we'll work hard over the next 2 weeks, and hopefully smiling when we come back.
Home guys over the break?
Yeah, back to Melbourne, taking the wife with me, so it'll be good to get back and see family, and yeah, as I said, we'll still be training, but it'll be nice.